Hello everyone, this is Avinash and welcome to my YouTube video, and today I'll be talking about the contestants that have signed up for Bigg Boss 15, and Bigg Boss being one of the most prominent shows and one of my most favorite shows on Indian television. I'm very excited about this season, which is the 15th season of the franchisee. Uh, so yeah, let's see who all are participating this year, and maybe I'll be giving you insights about their backgrounds and what are their chances of winning this season. So stay tuned. So I have the contestant list in front of me, so let us get started with the first contestant this year, which is Jai Bhanushali. So a lot of us know about Jai from Dance India Dance because he's been hosting the show for quite some time now. I don't know if he's the current host or not, but if we talk about Dance India Dance and hosting, we associate the show with Jai Bhanushali and Soumya Tandon. I'm definitely not sure. I've not seen the latest season, so who is hosting it now, I'm not very sure. That was probably his claim to fame, the mega premiere show that he did, which was highly successful, which launched his career into hosting, and he has hosted quite a number of shows, has a good sense of humor on stage. Let's see if he could bring even half of that for Bigg Boss 15. And apart from this, he has done a similar show in the similar format called I think is Jungle Se Mujhe Bachao, where he was not that successful. Apart from this, he started his drama career from Disney, I guess, a show on Disney, and after that Ekta Kapoor signed him up for the show Qayamat on Star Plus, which started as him being the protagonist, but then Shabbir Ahluwalia taking over and he becoming a supporting character. So that was his journey in television, and he has won Nach Baliye with Mahi Vij, his wife. So he has a lot of experience with reality shows, but because he was not that successful in his Jungle Se Mujhe Bachao, I'm not very sure how he is going to do in the show. But one thing's for sure, he has a good sense of humor which can benefit him in the game. Contestant number 2, as I see in the Wikipedia page or the contestant list, is Vishal Kotian. I have been, watching him as a kid because the first two shows that he did on television probably were Dil Vil Pyar Vyar and Family Number 1, and both were on Sony, and it was in the year 1999, so it was probably more than 20 plus years back. So I don't know, he is looking quite young still, which is a mystery, which is a secret that we should always ask him, the secret ingredient for his youth. Still in his he must be in his late 40s for sure, because he was quite a grown-up man when I saw him in Dil Vil Pyar Vyar and Family Number 1. So apart from that, he has been seen in Akbar Birbal, where he plays Birbal, and I'm not sure if he has done anything apart from that has been prominent and successful. But yes, so Vishal Kotian is an interesting name. I have never seen him in a reality show, so I don't know how he'll behave in the Bigg Boss house, but he looks promising because he is the most experienced person this year, so he could be, and the only experienced person if you discount Shamita Shetty, because she was there in Bigg Boss OTT already. So it will be quite difficult for him to tackle the youngsters. Let's see how he manages to survive in the house and whether he thrives or not. So we'll move on to the third contestant. Contestant number 3 is Tejaswi Prakash, who has been a part of number of television shows. Her claim to fame was Varagini, which did really well on Colors and was a big show. She was the protagonist there, and after that she did a show which was with an adolescent as the protagonist, which was, I'm not remembering the name, but that was quite a controversial show. And Pehredar Piya Ki, yes, I remembered it was quite a show that was showing a juvenile falling in love with somebody who was, 18 plus or an adult, and it was, had that undercurrent of pedophilia. That is why it was banned by by people, the Indian broadcaster, and it was not appreciated back then. So she was in the cusp of this controversy. After that, she did Khatro Ke Khiladi, I guess, and she was quite popular and has become quite popular as I see on the internet. So, and a little, the bite that I saw with her being with Salman Khan on stage, she can speak and she can be funny while speaking, so that is always an added advantage because you become interesting as a contestant on a 24/7 camera proctored reality show. So yeah, she has high chances of winning, so all the best to Tejaswi Prakash. At number 4, we have Vidhi Pandya, and then we have Simba Nagpal. I'll talk about these people together because I think they are comparatively new to the industry, and not a lot of people, including me, know about what they have done in the industry thus far. So, first talking about Vidhi Pandya, I think she has done few supporting roles and a parallel lead in Udaan, but Udaan was essentially popular because of the child actor, and she entered into the show when the time leap came. So I'm not sure if a lot of people will relate to her from Udaan. And I think she has done a lot of work with colors, and Bigg Boss is a color show. So yeah, she because people don't know her, she's starting from a clean slate, I guess. And yeah, let's see what she does in the show. And after her is Simba Nagpal, and I have seen him on Splitsvilla 11, and he was very cold in the show. I'm surprised that he has gotten this opportunity after such a damp performance on Splitsvilla, because he was not very he did not emote much on a reality show like Splitsvilla. So he was quite an introvert, did not talk much in the show, and so I'm not sure how will he manage a show that is on a bigger platform than Splitsvilla. And apart from that, he has done Shakti, but again Shakti was super popular when it was about Rubina Dilek. After Rubina quit the show, it took a leap, and then Simba Nagpal came into the show. So I'm not sure if people will be able to relate with him from the show on colors called Shakti. So again, he's starting from a clean slate from my point of view. Let's see what he does on the show. Will he be as he was in Splitsvilla 11, or he will turn a new leaf and will be a different person altogether for Bigg Boss 15? We'll have to watch out. Contestant number 6 is one of my most favorite person or contestant on Bigg Boss's brother or sibling, that is Umar Riaz I'm talking about. I'm quite excited. I have kind of followed him a lot when Asim Riaz was in Bigg Boss 13, and I simply loved the the camaraderie between Siddharth Shukla, Sana and Asim Riaz, that is Shahnaz Gill and Asim Riaz, and also Aarti in the first 1 month or 5 weeks of the show. And I really was annoyed and was not happy when Siddharth Shukla and Asim Riaz parted ways in the show, and I had to choose one person because both were going in two different direction, and the storyline was revolving around them at that point of view, at that point of time, and I kind of resonated more with Asim, so Asim became my favorite contestant on the show. So I can relate to Umar from Asim, and that is why from the starting I'll have to see this show to make him a favorite. But when I see it from now, I think I already know him because of the social media handle. Um, and on Twitter or on Instagram, the way he has, supported us on Bigg Boss 13. So yeah, I quite liked him, and yeah, I'll be if you ask me now, I think it will be Umar Riaz who I will be supporting. But a major factor for Umar Riaz, I think that is a drawback, is that he has not faced the camera before. I don't think he is from the entertainment field, so it is always becomes, you are it is a disadvantage of sort when you don't know how to face the camera and you are competing with people who have done it day in day out. So that will be interesting that will be very interesting, to see in the show how Umar Riaz manages and competes with the celebrities. And after that, a big advantage that he has is he already has a fan base of Asif Riaz, which will help him in votes for sure. And this is a popularity game at the end of it all. So we'll have to wait and watch what Umar Riaz does in this show. Next up, at number 7 and 8, two people I have I don't know them at all. I've never seen them before Bigg Boss, and I know that, but they have not done anything significant before Bigg Boss, I guess. So it comes to me as a surprise that they are being offered such a big show in the first place. The first one is Ishan Segal. I have never heard about him. So he is, but it's always good to have few new people in the bunch, because then the show becomes diversified and thus interesting. So let us see what he does. He's a television actor and a model. That is what Wikipedia tells me, and there is no Wikipedia link to his own page, so I am unable to figure out who he is. But maybe Bigg Boss will be his launch pad and Bigg Boss will be his claim to fame. Let us see about that. Next is Donald Best. I tried to, when the rumors about contestants who were going to be in Bigg Boss 15 started, there was this one name I saw and I was like, how is she gonna going to be in Bigg Boss 15? That was Barkha Best. So I think the journalist confused Donald Best with Barkha Best. So that is a different story. But Donald is competing in this show, and her claim to fame, I don't know whether it is because Dil To Happy Haji was not very popular, or I have never heard of that show. I only know of that show because I think Jasmine Kassine was the protagonist when the show started, and so Donald had replaced Jasmine. I'm not sure what Donald has done after that. So for me, I think Bigg Boss again will be her claim to fame as well. So we'll have to wait and watch how she does in the show. The next name is probably one of the biggest, names from television that is participating, apart from Jai Bhanushali, of course, and that is Karan Kundra. So I think he started his career around 10-12 years back or 15 years back with this show called Kitni Mohabbat Hai for Imagine. That is how I know him. And then there was this fan base created for his pairing with Kritika Kamra, and we know that they have parted ways. After that, I know him from the shows he has done for Viacom 18 on MTV, and he was the host of Gumrah, I guess, and he has done a lot of shows for MTV after that. I don't know if he has done fiction after that, because none of it has become as popular as Kitni Mohabbat Hai, I guess. Kitni Mohabbat Hai was not a super hit show, but it did quite well for the channel, and had that youth connect, and he was popular at that point with the youth. He has done few shows with his ex-girlfriend Anusha Dandekar as well for MTV, Anusha being prime VJ for the channel. So he has done Love School, I guess, and Pratik Sehajpal, an ex-Love School person, will be there on the show. So it will be interesting to see how their camaraderie is on the show. So Karan Kundra, a big name going inside after Jai Bhanushali, and one of the few very known faces, I guess, that who are entering the show in this 15th season. We'll have to see how he is, though he has reality show experience, but never from a contestant point of view. He has always been a mentor or a host, I guess. So we'll have to see how he does on the show. Next up, I'll be talking about two singers that are entering this show. Singers go inside the Bigg Boss house very rarely, because I think they find, especially playback singers, because they find themselves to be really uncomfortable in front of the camera. I guess very few people like Ismail Darbar, I can think of, or Debojit are only people that have gone inside. It's more for the, I think the pop singers generally tend to accept. I think Ali Kuli Mirza was a pop singer at that point who had entered, lesser known, but yeah, a singer. I can't think of more names. Neha Bhasin entered the OTT platform this year. She is a big name from the playback industry, as well as the pop industry. So she was there. So two singers this year making into Bigg Boss 15. That is Akasa Singh, who has a super hit song to her name, that is To Kheech Meri Photo, which I also kind of like. And then there is Afsana Khan. So I have never heard any of her songs, so I don't know how she sounds exactly. Akash is saying I have heard To Kheech Meri Photo, and she has a very good voice, of course. So two singers in the same house, they can be competitive, they can become friends. You know, this reminds me of two models in the same space, two female models in Bigg Boss 1, Carol Gracious and Anupama Verma, who were actually very unfriendly to each other. So it can go both ways. You can either become like really super, friends, good friends, or you can become enemies in the show. So that will be interesting to see. And it's always good to have singers, because they are kind of entertaining. Basically good to have singers because they are kind of more entertaining, I feel, than other people, uh, other entertainers, because they have that quality of singing. Rahul Vaidya was one singer I forgot to mention. He was the runner-up as well who has participated. He kind of, because they interact with, audiences a lot when they go for their concerts. So they have that thing in them that they can have that mass appeal going on for them. And they are not introverts, mainly because they have to interact with a lot of people on on the concerts, and they have to keep them alive. So I feel they are more from that entertain, and it's live. The concerts are live. They are not reading a script. So that is what I mean. On a live show like Bigg Boss, they can be more entertaining. So all the best to Akasa Singh and Afsana Khan. I they do well on the show. Again, next up are two people who I have zero knowledge about. One is called Maisha Iyer, who is an ex-Splitsvilla contestant of season 12. I've not seen season 12, so I don't know about her. And she was in ASOC space with Pratik Sehajpal and Divya Agarwal as well. So it will be interesting to see how her interaction or camaraderie with Pratik Sehajpal is. So that is one thing. People, because when you come with past experience with somebody, or if you know somebody on a reality show, then you can talk about things that are interesting in general, instead of starting from a complete scratch on the show. That becomes very dull, because you don't have you have a limited environment there to make experiences, which becomes very difficult, I guess. So yeah, so that is Maisha Iyer for you. After that we have Sahil Shroff, I guess. Yeah, Sahil Shroff is the person who has worked in Dawn 2. That is what the Wikipedia page says. But I have zero knowledge about him as well. I've never seen him. So it will be interesting to see why he is on the show, because most of the time I feel that why are these names there even on the celebrity list, but because of the inner circle they have, there must be something unique about them that are exciting enough for the makers to keep them on the show. So let us see what Sahil does on the show. So these were other two names that are fairly new to the industry. And moving on to the Bigg Boss OTT contestants now. So as you know, 3 people from the OTT Bigg Boss version, that was season 1, are participating in this show as a direct entry given to them. So number 1 is Pratik Sehajpal, who took the briefcase, I guess, to be a part of Bigg Boss 15. He knew that somewhere he is not winning the show. That is why he took it, 1, and 2, he wanted to be a part of 15. That is all right, but somewhere I think during the later half of Bigg Boss OTT, he lacked that leadership quality. I feel that makes a winner, or a winner quality, which people seek in a Bigg Boss winner. It became, I think he was not enough concentration was lacking for him. I guess there was not enough concentration that he was paying to the game or the Bigg Boss winning race. He was I feel that he was way better in the first 2 weeks than the later weeks. He was looking like a winner material before, but later he wasn't, and thus he did not win the show. And after that, I think Nishant is a very good Bigg Boss contestant, because he was everywhere on Bigg Boss OTT. And a lot of things, revolved around him, and everybody was kind of going to him for each and everything and getting him involved in a lot of stuff. So a lot of camera was there on him, and he was talking non-stop with somebody or the other and discussing things, which is always an added advantage on Bigg Boss, because cameras are there on you 24/7. You have to be interesting, and he used to come up with things, come up with discussion points with other people that made the show interesting. And a person like him is always welcome, I guess. And I am looking forward to actually seeing Nishant on the show, because I totally loved him throughout the 6 weeks that he was in Bigg Boss OTT. So yes, completely looking forward to him. And number 3 was the second runner-up. Nishant was the first runner-up on Bigg Boss OTT after Divya Agarwal, of course, and Shamita Shetty, the second runner-up, is also participating. She's a direct entry after doing well on the show. So I think she would have been the third runner-up instead of second if Pratik wouldn't have taken the briefcase. But whatever, we don't know the numbers, the votes. So yeah, she was the rightful second runner-up and have gotten a chance to enter Bigg Boss 15. She is a very assertive person, which I feel worked for her on Bigg Boss OTT, but at the same time, she is not interesting enough for how do I put it, because she is in her cocoon most of the time, and she is a very but she is a very individualistic person. I'd say if something is not going her way, she kind of cuts herself off from the other person, which if you do that, you are going to be alone in the house, and then the cameras will not follow you, because there will be no conversation points. And there, she was lucky that there was Rakesh Bapat in the show, and it was a couple kind of a show where she always had him to talk to. But if she behaves the same in Bigg Boss 15, I don't know how she will be able to maneuver through the later weeks of this show, because there will be no camaraderie she will be able to build on this show because of that behavior. So these were the contestants that are participating. I hope Divya Agarwal would have participated, because that is why people have gone inside the Bigg Boss OTT house. So she is not participating, but I have talked about each and every contestant that is participating. I know wildcards will be coming up, but all in all, this looks a very young season. A lot of people I had never heard of. A few big names are there from television industry, and this year I think they did not have a big female face from the television industry who have a record of winning the show, like Urvashi Dholakia, Shweta Tiwari, Juhi Parmar, or Deepika Kakkar and Shilpa Shinde, or the Rubina Dilek. So majority of the seasons have been won by the big female protagonist of the Indian television industry, which is missing this year. There is no big female name, I guess, on the list. I did not see any. So the field is wide open and anybody can win it. Let's see who plays the best game and wins it. I'll try to review the show. I can't be very regular about it, but I'll try to do it. Let's see how it pans out. So all Bigg Boss fans, if you like the video, please like it on YouTube as well, as in there's a button to like it. Then you can subscribe to my channel. If you like the analysis, you can write your comments down and talk about the channel as well. What content you like to see from the pop culture space, that is the space I'm most comfortable with. So here's me, Avinash, signing off. Thank you so much for watching it.